I just I couldn't not to reflect on that video or on this portion of the video.
Most people take like a while to get pregnant, like maybe like up to a year, like 6 months to a year. That imagined timeline didn't happen, and instead I was pregnant like straight away.
Hello everyone, today I'm going to reflect on Dr. Izzy's news that she's pregnant. And if you don't know who's she is now the wife of Ali Abdaal. He's on YouTube. He's also a doctor who shares videos about productivity. And that's how I discovered her video, through his channel. She shared in the video that she's pregnant and her thoughts and feelings about the idea of being pregnant and going through pregnancy for the first few months. And I found a lot of things that I would like to reflect on as someone who never wanted to bring my children to life. I'm Theresa Khalil. I'm a writer, a documentary filmmaker from Egypt, spent most of my life in the Arabic world, and now I'm in Europe. And the reason why I have this channel in the first place is because I have a unique view of things in general and of life, of course. So let's see what she said.
Maybe there was part of me that wasn't truly mentally prepared, despite kind of agreeing to this or like thinking that I was, because I think there was part of me that was thinking like, oh, like most people take like a while to get pregnant, like maybe like up to a year, like 6 months to a year. That imagined timeline didn't happen, and instead I was pregnant like straight away.
Okay, so the first thing that I would like to reflect on is this idea that it's difficult to get pregnant. And many people, because you watch also videos of people who it was not easy for them to get pregnant, they had to go through many things in order for this to happen. And also if they got pregnant, then they had miscarriage and they share it on on YouTube. But actually, when I looked into it, I found that 80% of women, it's so, if everything is normal, it's the common that they get pregnant as soon as possible. But I think the reason why people think that pregnancy is difficult, and if you become a mother, then they make like a celebration, and it's something like magical, although it happens as we speak now, like it's happening now every second. But I think the reason why is this happening, it's coming from the idea of trying to make having children something holy. And it is, in religions, it is something holy, right? So basically, if there is anyone who's extremely religious, you will definitely notice that they have a lot of children, because it's connected to this holiness. Like, it's the holy mission of humanity is to bring as much children as possible. So they try to make it like, it is not easy, it is difficult. Although it's like, you see, just about 20% who may have problems having children not as soon as possible. But it's so natural for all creatures to reproduce. For example, where I come from, Egypt, I just was reading recently that in the last year, they increased 1 million. And it is a problem because there are already more than 110 million, and they don't have enough resources for this huge number. But I remember when I was in Egypt, I shared in a graphic design competition, and it was about making a design that can encourage people or make people understand that having less children is better than having many. And I won actually with my design. I was trying to show how that, of course, for me, I wouldn't recommend bringing your children to life at all, but I made this design to show how that, like, having one child is like more safe than having a lot of children. But it seems that this didn't work out, because I mean, just the idea of making a design for majority of the people who have a lot of children are usually very poor and illiterate, and of course they will not look at designs. So yeah, I think the idea of the difficulty of having a child and congratulating someone when they get pregnant and make it seem like it's an amazing thing is because of trying to dress it in a holy way, like, oh, you are making this heroic, but it's just how life is designed, like all creatures reproduce.
So I was hit with feeling tired all the time, feeling sick most days, not really having much appetite, throwing up.
So now she's talking about how difficult it was being pregnant. Okay, so it is not difficult to get pregnant, okay? But it is difficult being pregnant, and of course the delivery, yes, of course. And that was a question that I was wondering about for a while, like, why is it the idea of having a creature growing inside you? And I was thinking, wasn't there any better way for life to bring new humans in maybe a more humane way instead of having another human being growing inside you? And put this aside, then come to the idea of this mini human that is inside you, and now you are supposed to get him out to life through a very small hole. What a genius idea. So this is something like when I came to life at the beginning as a child, and I discovered that that's how human beings come to life, I just couldn't see myself also going through this craziness, you know. And after that, I started thinking, so why women suffer in delivery? Of course, there is the religious explanation, which is that Eve did this, you know, she made Adam sin and now she's punished. But when you look at the evolution theory, you find that actually the reason why women suffer in delivery more than the rest of the mammals is because when humans were evolving, they had evolution had one of two choices. One of them was that humans walk faster on two legs to make the pelvic area smaller for that to happen, for human to walk faster or run to survive. And the other possibility was to just be like other mammals, like chimpanzees, for example, who use their hands also in walking. They will be slower, but they can have babies easier. And evolution selected that the delivery can be more difficult. So I'm not a biologist or anything, but you can correct me if I'm saying something wrong. So just knowing that, you would definitely think, okay, if evolution did this choice on my behalf, I'm not happy with it. Why would I participate in it?
Or I was vomiting, or I was trying to eat and keep something down, or I was sleeping. I think that life presents us with challenges in a series which we can handle them, because I truly believe that life will only present you with a challenge that you are strong enough and ready enough to rise to.
This idea of that, actually it's in many cultures, this quote that you will only have suffering that you can handle. Like, really? Like, when you look around, do you think that's true? I don't think so. But I think that humans are adaptive. So they just try to adapt to whatever is thrown at them.
Over the last few months, I have realized that the role of motherhood is almost criminally devalued in our current society. And in a way, this mindset has soaked into me, where I'm feeling like a burden on the people around me. So instead of feeling useless, I would also sometimes talk to my mum or talk to Ali, and they would say something like, oh, but you're doing the most important job of all. You're literally like building and creating and giving life to the next generation of human beings.
Also, the idea of that creating a human being is, I don't like the word creating, because you are not creating nothing, okay? You are pregnant. This is something that happens to you without your control. So something will like life will take its course inside you. So I don't like when antinatalists also say humans are procreating, they are creating. Why you empower humans as if they are gods? They are not. This is a natural process. We came to life, we found that it's happening. So yeah, so you are pregnant, there is a human being growing inside you. You're not creating it, okay? It's developing on its own. But then I want to reflect on this idea in the West that, and I noticed it during my journey to find love and my life partner, which is on a series here, Love Surfing. And I have a documentary film where I filmed one of my dating experiences in Belgium with a guy in Brussels. So you can check that out. But I have a long journey with finding love and my life partner between Egypt and Europe, so between the Arabic world and the Western world. And I noticed in the Western world this idea that men are looking at me as an equal, like that, and in a not a good way, okay? Not an equal in a good way. So I noticed that many of them cared so much about what is my career, how much is my income, how much I'm going to pay and provide for him. That was shocking for me, coming from the Arabic world where women are struggling just to get the right to continue their education or to have a job just to sustain their life. I don't agree with the Arabic world, I don't agree with the Western world. So it is so normal for women or females to learn, to work, whatever they can, whatever you can do, you should be able to do. Okay, it is as simple as that. But then you need to take into consideration as well that not only that women or those female human beings, they get pregnant and they are the ones who are going to carry the child, feed the child, take care of the child. But also they have something called period. Every month they bleed. And that's very exhausting. And we didn't design life in that way. So you need to take into consideration, and for example, now I'm 50 years old and I'm going through, the doctor is telling me like perimenopause, and that's also not an easy thing to go through. So when you treat me like an equal, that's wrong because I'm not an equal, okay? I'm different and I am supposed to be capable of doing whatever I am able to do. As simple as that, whether in the Arabic world or in the Western world. So men should be supportive. They shouldn't see me as an equal, like I'm not an equal. Females are not supposed to be treated as equal. They are supposed to be supported because they came to life. They are very creative, to be honest, majority of the women I meet are very wise. There are exceptions, but majority of the women I meet are the ones who are trying to protect the family, who are gluing the family together, okay? So this is a creature that has some specifications, has some positives and of course some negatives. But it needs to be supported. You are not supposed to treat it as equal. Like one of the craziest examples I had in Hungary, I was traveling with 2 heavy bags in the train, and they announced that the train will not continue. We have to get out and we have to take a bus. And I was like, I hardly brought those 2 bags with a taxi to the train station. How am I going to drag them on unpaved road, carry them to the bus? So I was hoping that any man would help me to carry the bags, but all men were just passing by without offering nothing. And then I had to speak up. I said, excuse me, can you carry for me the bag? And the guy was like, why? Like, can't you see that I don't have enough muscles to carry a bag? So I think that's the problem in the West, is that men are just like, when humans evolved from what we have in the Arabic world, where women are supposed to stay home, they are not allowed to do many things, then when they took this to the West, which was the same like the Arabic world, they opened it to the maximum without thinking that, okay, the equality, then I should carry heavy stuff, I should be supporting the family just like the man. I mean, it depends, like as I said also in one of my Arabic videos, when it comes to financially, the financial value of men and women in a relation as couple, it's different from one couple to another. It depends who are you, what are you doing. And as I said, one woman I met in Belgium, she's a lawyer, she's a family lawyer, she's so rich, okay? She gets a lot of money for her job. She's married to a refugee Syrian man. He's earning nothing, so he's taking care of the house and of their daughter. This is how you need to navigate life. You can't put just rules, you can't equality, then so even when you are pregnant you are supposed to have a career and you are supposed to generate income and all that. You should offer women who came to life with such unprivileged characteristics support. You need to support them, okay, so that we can cooperate together and navigate through this experience of existence with the minimum damage or hardships possible.
Of humanity, then ensuring that there is the next generation of kind, smart, healthy, happy.
And now she talks about how that she's now on this heroic mission of bringing the next generation child to life. Okay, first of all, this child that is coming, who could he be? Maybe a YouTuber like his parents, or a doctor like his parents. What is new? We have a lot of doctors, we have a lot of YouTubers. So why do you make it seem as if it's a mission, like like even if this child is going to be the president of the United States, so what? It's not like, this is really, when you look at things with a wise eye, you will really see how people are just exaggerating to make life seem as something so miraculous, like life is something miraculous. And this is life, that's how it is, guys, like, you know. that's how life is. You get a child, and you know what, many people, they have their life, or they failed to make their dreams come true, and their mission in life is to have a child and make this child do something that they feel proud of. I just watched yesterday Tom Hanks' movie Here, and you have this 50-year-old woman, his wife, who was supposed to make a wish on her 50th birthday, and she just realized, like, oh, I wanted to go to Paris, but I didn't. I wanted to do this and that, but I couldn't. But, you know, I have a daughter, and my daughter is a lawyer now. So yeah, sometimes children for people are just an outlet of their, of feeling that they achieved something in life. And that's why when you see Dr. Izzy talking, she's like adding this exaggerated value of, I'm creating the next generation, I'm making, I don't know, this child is going to be...
individuals that can continue to carry on what we've been doing so far. And if we...
She said for the child to continue what we have been doing so far. What have we been doing so far, if you may tell me? We have been coming to life, suffering and dying, coming to life, suffering and dying forever now. So what this child is going to continue? And there is this fear of like, I'm doing the most important thing in life of bringing a child to humanity, because life to continue is so important. And I have a documentary called It Goes On, where I share my view on life and how that the mission of life is just to keep going on. But why do we have to participate in this? If we are dying anyway, we are not going to be here. I'm talking about each one individually. So you care about that someone else will come through you, and you know that you are not lasting here for long. And like they were saying in the film here as well, like time flies, and just you blink and you find yourself like me now. I'm like 50. What? 50. But let's say, like, what is the worst case scenario? Let's say that, okay, she didn't bring a child. Many people didn't bring children, huh? And the worst case scenario happened. Humans extinct, okay? They don't exist anymore. So what? We have dinosaurs. They don't exist anymore. What is the problem for the dinosaurs? Nothing. They don't exist, so they have no problems. But I like that she said to continue what we have been doing so far.
Individuals that can continue to carry on what we've been doing so far.
Because there is nothing to say about what is this life or what is it. So I can just say a vague expression like, well, I need to get this child so he can continue what we have been doing. But what we have been doing? Living, which is temporary, and we are dying as well. So maybe she's thinking he needs to come and die, continue the life and death cycle.
And then what are we left with? We're left with a society that begins to hollow out. And instead, actually, I have gained a massive amount of respect for people who are moms.
I have a massive amount of respect to women who are moms. As I said, being a mother is not easy. Many women are struggling. Like I do listening sessions where if you have something on your mind, you want to share it, you want to talk loudly, I will leave a link to it in the description box. But in one of those sessions, I had someone who had a baby and she was struggling because she started feeling that she lost a big part of who she is, which is actually true. On my journey to find love and my life partner, at the beginning, I was thinking maybe I can find someone who's already married, divorced or widowed, and he has a child. But then when I started meeting people like that, I discovered that when you have a child, whether you are a woman or a man, part of you get out of you. So you are not the same person anymore. And that's why I wanted to marry someone who had the similar experience to me, because I realized this, that having a child definitely is not easy, but also it's not holy, it is not massive respect, it is not wow, it is not... My grandmother, she had about 15 to 16 children. It was just part of her daily routine. She would even, they were telling me, she would deliver a baby and go cook lunch, you know. It was just every 1 or 2 years she have a new child. So just like call things by their names, okay? Having a child is not easy. Yeah, it needs a lot of effort. You will not be the same person anymore. Something will change in you. Part of you will be outside of you, okay? You need to understand that. That's a normal course of life. But it's not this magical, heroic act, great respect to moms and to dads. I believe this is exaggeration. And also don't take it to the religious side and make it seem like a holy thing. Like, oh, I have this fruit of our marriage. That people get married, they have children. That's the normal, okay? The challenge was how not to have children. That was the challenge. And they invented this disaster that's called birth control, which is a lot of chemicals. And till now, you can't find, like, humans are trying to stop or find a solution for not having children. Why is that? Because the natural thing is having a child. And I remember in one TV series I watched called Xena, it was about Hercules and Zenas and all those gods. And she was saying that love is the trap that God makes us fall into in order for life to continue going on. So yeah, it's so normal. You get attracted to someone from the opposite sex. If you have sex, then probably you will have a child. Nothing miraculous, nothing. And when someone talk about having a child and say that it's a miracle, I just can't understand it, because miracles are supposed to be rare stuff, right? Rare, something rare. This is a miracle. But when you have this miracle happening, yeah, I don't know now, as I'm speaking, you can Google it, how many miracles is being created now as we speak. A lot. Planet Earth is having a lot of children. And there is always this fear, like, oh my God, I need to pass my genes on. Many people, actually, there are a lot of children who needs adoption, We had in Sudan, there was a war, there were many children that lost their families. And for some people, they don't care about those children because they want to bring their own children. Why? To pass on their genes, which is also something natural, right? But as we are now, we are more conscious and we are also logical creatures. Does it make sense that you have all those children that are struggling alone, they have no one to take care of them, and then you go and bring more new children?
The parents as well, not just mums but also dads that have gone before us and poured their love and their resources and their attention into nourishing and raising the next generation. It's inherently a selfless act, which I think is part.
And another something that drives me crazy is that when someone have a child and take care of him or her, this is a selfless act. Definitely not. It's, as I said, it's a natural course of life. It's so difficult to prevent not having a child. And it is so scary not to have a child, because who will take care of you when you grow old, right? So it's actually the most selfish act, in my opinion, to have a child, because you have the child and now you have someone to take care of you. Because, in the family, I'm the only one who think that way. But all my brothers and sisters, they're married, they have children. And I was talking to my brother and I was like, don't you think that like you have children so they can take care of you when you grow old? And he was saying that he just wants them to be well and he doesn't want anything from them. But I know that he has fears that, so he was thinking like, okay, and this is also a common fear of people who have children. What if my child is now in another country or travel for work, or how he will take care of me? So even when you deny this selfish act and you try to make it selfless, that you sacrifice yourself for your children, deep inside you, actually, that's not true. Because you want your children to be with you when you are in need. And, majority of people, they know that when you grow old, you get weaker, right? Of course, I want to make sure that you don't think that I'm trying to convince you not to have your own children, because I believe that this is something that is unstoppable, okay? And I know that life goes on, and we don't know, like, if everyone stopped having children and humans extinct, I don't see any guarantee that we will not wake up one day and find some other humans popping up, because there were many kind of humans on planet Earth. If you want to learn more about my thoughts and ideas on not bringing my children to life, you can watch my video, I'm Antinatalist, Something that she shared in the video that also caught my attention is when she was talking about the news that she got married at the beginning and how that the wedding planning took her a lot of time she couldn't believe that it really can consume a lot of her time like that. And she was thinking like how difficult it can be, and it turned out like it's a massive job to plan for your wedding. And this actually is inspiring me to make another video to share how I made my wedding, because I believe that my wedding planning was simple, joyful, enjoyable, and it was the minimum planning ever. So I think maybe it's worth it to make a video about how I planned for my wedding so easily with the minimum decisions possible. If you want to receive updates of my life and my creations, then you can subscribe to the newsletter. Go to theresakhalil.com. Just register your email. You will receive 1 email every month. And you can also follow me on Instagram at Theresa_Khalil. And I would like to tell you that I'm open for changing my mind. That's why I'm on a journey to understand life, solve its mystery, and live it fully. And I'm meeting people who change their belief. So I believe that those people are questioners, they are curious. So that's why I try to first learn about their lives and also how they reached a point where they are in peace with this experience of existence. And I would recommend you to watch the documentary I filmed, The Scrapbook of Life, that started this journey. So I will leave a link to it as well. The Scrapbook of Life is not only on YouTube but also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So you can follow me there. See you in a coming video.